Here's our sponsors for today's program.
It's a wrong road. Echo when they're getting newborns. Body stronger. The farther on you go. Thought I knew you. We can't never say I know me. That sorry shadow I could turn out to be. Sometimes I cannot. Just can't understand where my head is at. Oh, what my heart is saying. All throughout the struggle, sometimes I feel I can't shake the habit. I just can't wake up. But I know in the end I'll be the chill. 'Cause the road will go on with me or without. Making no compromise. Fighting for a better life.
Persona 4 Arena.
Okay, welcome back yet again, friends, strangers, enemies. As you can see, we are doing another spontaneous stream today. And we are doing more Persona 4 Arena. This time we're going to be checking out Naoto's storyline, and after that I believe there will only be 3 storylines left, plus the epilogues that we are going to have to complete.
Welcome to
And
the Velvet Room.
I don't know, since we completed Labrys's last time, we may be able to do the epilogues for these 4 right now without having to do a second playthrough. We'll just see how that pans out. Anyway, I want to remind everybody to like, share, and subscribe, and let us begin.
Investigation begin. What follows are my impressions of the organization called the Shadow Operatives, as well as their leader, Mitsuru Kirijo.
My fingers fly across the keyboard. My last case was special. I need to complete my report before I forget any important details. My name is Naoto Shirogane. I'm a detective. The Shirogane family has been working as detectives for generations. Though I'm young and still in high school, I have been given the opportunity to take on several cases and have built up experience as a detective. My work has earned me some trust, as every so often the police will come to me for assistance. That's where this story begins, a sudden request from the Inaba Police Department. That was about a month ago, early April. Oh, is this going to be the, hijacking? Excuse me. Last summer, I've received a request from a prefectural police to come to the town of Inaba. A bizarre series of... Oh, we're talking about the murder case, okay. Alright. A bizarre series of murders was occurring. A corpse would turn up every morning after a foggy night. In the end, it turned out to be the most difficult case in my career. It's been about 2 weeks since the case was closed. No, from the public's viewpoint, 4 months have passed since the crimes were stopped. The culprit has been arrested and prosecuted. Peace has returned, but to return there is a depressing proposition. I'm not unwilling to help the police again, but my involvement with the previous case is not something I'd like to go through again. Yeah, but you get to hang out with all your cool friends again. You gotta look for that silver lining, Naoto. To be completely honest, that particular case was no simple series of murders. During the course of my investigation, I obtained a supernatural power known as my persona, making me more than just a detective. I collaborated with other persona users and became directly involved with the events of the case. Of course, if I was to tell the police, it would be treated as nonsense. Worst case scenario, I would be discredited. Having to leave out those details while explaining the events of the case is More than a little nerve-wracking and feels like lying, but there you have it. While on my way to the police department for this new case, I go through a list of possible questions and answers I would need. Something's different today, though. After greeting the receptionist, I'm not led to the usual dull meeting room. Instead, I'm taken to a reception area on the top floor. A leather-trimmed sofa, a curved wooden table, curved, I did read that right. Curved wooden table, a Navox Riche setting. I do not know if I read that right.
Looks like this may take some time.
If this was just going to be paperwork and basic questioning, they wouldn't have brought me here to this special room. Is it a new case? I have to wait several minutes before someone comes to speak with me. When the door finally opens, a man wearing a suit not fitting the uniform of a local officer walks in.
I'm sorry about the wait.
He hands me his card.
Allow me to introduce myself.
His card has a lengthy title, National Police Agency Security Bureau, the Security Planning Division. I was shocked. They're more commonly known as the Public Safety Police. The Security Planning Division is the command center for the departments that handle terrorist threats, coups d'etats, and foreign affairs. The secret police also belong to this group. Why would a person of this importance come all the way to a rural local like this? I look him in the eyes. He appears to be measuring me up.
I see you're enough on the ball that you don't need a lengthy introduction. Good.
Without any further talk, the man gets to the point.
Have you heard of the Kirijo group?
I doubt there are many who haven't.
I'll get right to the point. We'd like to hire you to perform a sub-rosa investigation on them.
You need a corporation quietly investigated. Why me? I don't see what I can do that your own department cannot.
I would agree if shadows and personas weren't involved.
This time, I'm unable to hide my surprise. But the man continues, either failing to see or purposefully ignoring my reaction.
One summer 12 years ago, there was an explosion at the Kirijo-owned Tatsumi Port Island, killing over 50 people. You would have been very young at the time.
I've reviewed that case. The official explanation was that a gas main leaked during a construction project.
Oh, maybe those scientists that were torturing Labrys ended up getting killed. That would be good.
Afterwards, though, a bizarre rumor saw quite a bit of circulation.
The mass media noticed that there was a suspiciously large number of researchers amongst the casualties. They floated the theory that the official explanation was a lie, and that the explosion was really caused by some dubious experiment.
No concrete evidence was ever found to support those claims, though. As I recall, the matter was left unsettled. Some may still remember the incident, though I don't think many could recall the finer points.
Those rumors were all true.
His voice becomes firm.
Those researchers under Koetsu Kirijo, the old Kirijo group manager, were working on harnessing the power of shadows. The experiment went awry, and they lost control of the shadows. That's what caused the explosion.
Experiments using shadows. They lost control? Are you saying the shadows flooded the city? The real world?
I can't speak to that. There was no way of getting hard answers back then. No one took the spooky stories seriously. But that accident got the government and the police's attention, though they didn't launch an investigation until a year or two ago.
That couldn't be helped. Law can only preside over the world as we know it. Things that can't be explained can't be governed.
Only those in the Kirijo group know exactly what happened and how much of the aftermath was dealt with.
The aftermath.
That word has a bad ring to it. It brings to mind a cover-up of some dark secret.
Their cleanup efforts continued until quite recently. They were using some method known only to them, entirely behind our backs. We think they've been conducting illegal activities in the 10 years since then, while hiding behind their cleanup efforts.
And you wish for me to confirm this?
Not only do you have a relationship with us, you have a persona and extensive experience in the field. We can't think of a better candidate.
And since I'm not directly affiliated with the police, if I were to be caught in a trap, it wouldn't lead back to you.
If that's the way you want to put it.
My reply was meant to be sarcastic, but this conversation is exceptionally draining. I must applaud public safety. They know everything about anybody they choose to investigate. There's no point in trying to bargain with them. He continues explaining indifferently, as if able to sense my resignation.
Last year, in conjunction with the Kirijo group, we established an unofficial department in the force, nicknamed the Shadow Operatives. It's a special unit capable of dealing with shadow-related cases.
This is news to my ears. That's a rather bold move. You went so far as to join forces with the ones you suspect of illicit activities?
That's exactly why we did it. We must keep a leash on them by integrating them into the system.
But the police are far behind information-wise. Officially, you are higher on the chain of command, but less so in practice.
I try throwing out a theory as I begin to get a grasp on what's taking place. The man didn't so much as flinch, but he didn't give me much of an answer either.
You'd need some leverage to keep your hold on them. Thus, this secret investigation. What exactly do you want me to do?
That will depend on your answer.
So that's their game plan. I figured as much. An organization as big as the Kirijo group is hiding the secret about shadows. Now, should I take the job or not? As a person with persona abilities, I'm naturally interested in learning how much there is to know about the shadows. And this job could potentially give me leverage over the government in the future. While I'm deep in thought, the man continues as if he can read my mind.
If you think we're hiring you to further our organization, you're mistaken.
I can't help but look up at the obvious change in his tone.
Our sources say it's possible that they've been talking students from a Kirijo-owned school into doing their dirty work. They've been pleading ignorance while making ordinary kids clean up whatever messes they've left. And that we don't forgive. We're supposed to be upholding the law. We can't overlook things like this.
He's surprisingly sincere. He's staring right at me, unlike up until now. His eyes are strong and bold. He truly doesn't want anyone innocent to suffer. Of course, this could be an act to convince me, but even then, I do agree with that opinion. All that remains is to find out Kirijo's intentions.
Alright, in that case, I accept. Though I don't plan on abandoning my school life here. I'll do what I can to help, but only within those limits.
I would never have decided or dictated conditions like this before, but the reason I had to come to this town and transferred to Yasugami High School was all for my investigation. The school life and the dear friends that I have gained have become irreplaceable to me. It may sound childish to demand that I stay with my friends, but if they refuse to budge in that regard, that's that.
That's fine with us.
He accepts my condition almost too easily, and then immediately begins to explain the details of the case.
At the end of this month, the Kirijo group is airlifting some special cargo. Kirijo has asked our help in making sure the cargo is transported safely.
Okay, so this is the part where the hijacking goes down. Alright.
We'd like you to accompany them as a police observer.
What do they mean, transported safely?
A police escort, assurance of no public investigation if any unforeseen situation were to arise, things like that. Of course, if anything does happen, we will hold them responsible.
I wonder how this storyline is going to merge with any of the other ones. Like, Naoto's been in, what, 3 of the different story arcs? It was the one with Mitsuru, then Aigis, and what the hell was the other one? Seems like the different branching story paths kind of like merge in some way or another, but they're also like separate. Like there are a couple of different stories going on at the same time.
And what is this special cargo?
It's something to do with the shadow research. They've admitted that much, but we don't know the exact details. According to our research, it's most likely something from the old ergonomics research laboratory, classified as risk level 4. In other words, even though it's sealed up tight, it's extremely dangerous.
They even have a risk scale for something like this. It seems that Kirijo's research goes into a variety of different things.
Also,
as I'm thinking, the man slides photographed me. It's a beautiful young lady. She's kinda mid. Her eyes show a strong will, as striking as her blazing red hair. Her hair reminds me of something. I may have seen her picture while going through the documents regarding the Port Island incident. Of course, the girl in those pictures was much younger.
this woman will be on that flight. Her name is Mitsuru Kirijo.
Kirijo.
She's the oldest daughter of the Kirijo family, Koetsu Kirijo's granddaughter. It was he who devised the experiments 12 years ago. You should know that she's also a powerful persona user.
A persona user besides us. I was suspecting something like this, but to hear it out loud is still shocking. So there are persona users other than those of us involved in the case last year.
We believe she took the lead in gathering students 3 years ago, when she was still in high school. We'd like you to first go to her residence and meet with her.
All right.
I'm sure you figured out by now, since she's a high-ranking Kirijo group official and a persona user, but she's a shadow operative. She's member number 1, the general manager. And not because she's a Kirijo, but because she has the abilities to back it up. Can you do this? If she's dirty, then this won't be easy for you.
I already accepted your assignment, so I must simply make the best of it.
I offer my hand. He has the firm grip of someone who's worked on the front lines of the law. A few days later, I receive a message informing me that the transport is about to be on, or is to be on, the 1st of May. It's on a school day, but since I've taken the job, there's nothing I can do about it. In fact, I should be glad that this didn't overlap with the extended holiday. I haven't heard the details, but I expect to have some important arrangements during Golden Week. Arrangements to reunite with my upperclassman, Yu Narukami, who was the leader of the group during last year's incident. I keep thinking about that reunion. It's only been 2 weeks since he left, but it feels much longer. I suppose that goes to show how much I'm looking forward to it. But I'm going off track. I need to think about my new job. So I hastily pull myself together. May 1st, the cargo is due to be transported from a laboratory near the Kirijo mansion. I make my way to the mansion to present myself and end up accompanying the security detail. The limousine is incredibly long. Apparently, it isn't all that rare for the upper class in the other countries to ride in cars this large, but it's downright comical on the tiny roads of Japan. That was where I met Mitsuru Kirijo in person.
Nice to meet you. My name is Naoto Shirogane. I'll be acting as an observer today.
I've been told about you. It's nice meeting you as well. I'm Mitsuru Kirijo.
Her beauty is enough to attract anyone's attention. Yeah, right. Not me. She was so much less imposing than in the picture.
I didn't expect the police's observer to be so young.
Does that bother you?
No. I didn't mean to downplay your abilities. Forgive me.
I took a look at Kirijo-san's face. She's the only daughter of the founding family, but it's been 2 years since she renounced the practice of Kirijo Group being run by the family. In other words, she's simply the CEO's daughter now, not the heir to the company. She must be used to getting constant stress, or she must be used to constant stress being a female leader at such a young age. Getting people to acknowledge her must have been a struggle. I don't need to mince my words in dealing with types like her. I decide to cut to the chase.
Tell me, what are the contents of your cargo?
I'm ashamed to have to admit this, but since the original researchers have passed away, we don't know what's in it either. We can't allow the worst-case scenario for such an item to come to pass in the middle of a city.
Okay, so confirmation that the researchers who were torturing Labrys are dead. That is good news. I very much approve.
That's why we plan to transfer these items to a distant facility according to their indicated risk level.
A natural decision. Her posture, her actions, if that was all an act, I must commend her for her ability to deal with the unexpected. But personally, my impression is that she is a trustworthy person. Before leaving, I have a chance to see the Kirijo mansion. I have to say, it's surprisingly simple. It wasn't just empty luxury, but something rather more rational. I feel that it shows what kind of person she is. At any rate, her intelligence and presence are proof enough of her upbringing. If she was hiding something, it would be hard to figure that out.
Then I'll stay near the cargo along with the police escort. I'll contact you immediately if anything happens.
All right. If anything is unclear to you, feel free to ask me.
Her eyes look straight at me, and I feel like she could see through everything. I end our conversation shortly after, and quietly wait for us to arrive. Okay, I was reading that right. Limousine, transport, truck, and multiple security cars reach the airport without any incident. The cargo may be dangerous, but according to the records, it was kept safely in storage for the past 10 years. Plus, it's worthless to the average person. Because of this, the people involved in the security don't look tense. Kirijo-san hands her servant her travel bag. It's almost as if she's simply going on vacation.
Yakushima. Huh.
The plane's destination is to one of the southern islands. I'm sure it'd be fun to go with everyone. I realize what I'm thinking, and have to laugh to myself. A year ago, I never would have considered that it would be fun to spend time with others. But I can't help but think that way now. Soon, they'll be moving the cargo out from the truck. I clear my mind of daydreams and look back to the truck. They pass through the gates for large cargo shipments. The shipment is in imposing metal cases, but among all the other shipping containers, it doesn't attract much attention from the airport staff. It's not long before the final case is unloaded from the truck. It's obviously different from the rest. It's covered in what seems to be heavy, industrial-grade steel. It's about 1 meter wide and broad, and 2.5 meters tall. It looks like something very special is in there, but even if someone was targeting the shipment, it would be impossible to steal it. 4 men in suits slowly tip the case sideways to place it on the cart. Seeing it on its side reminds me of something. It looks like a coffin. The moment I realize that, a shiver runs down my spine. Bear with me a moment. Just gonna refill my water. I think I'm going to have myself a shot of Jack Daniels as well. It does look big enough to have room for a person to lie down in. Could there really be a person inside it? Could it be that this tight security is not to prevent theft, but to keep the cargo from escaping? No, how can I imagine things like this without any proof? I shake my head to clear it of these pointless thoughts. Am I just shaking because I heard that this has something to do with shadows? Eventually, the check-in process is complete and the announcement to begin boarding echoes through the airport. Hey, welcome to stream, Uwu person. How are you doing? Favorite person is here? Oh, one of my favorite people. Oh, also, guess what I picked up today? Go ahead, guess. You've been asking about it for a while now. And I finally got my hands on it. Money? Nope, not money. Eventually, the check-in process is complete, and the announcement to begin boarding echoes through the airport. I relax a little, relieved that nothing has happened to this point. Once the plane takes off, the only thing in our way is the sky. Ocarina of Time, ding ding ding, you got it right. I picked that up today, ended up finding a used copy for $39. So we will be starting that up next week. I had put on an earpiece tuned to the police radio to keep up with the current situation. So far, nothing was out of the ordinary. N64 version, you assume? Yep, N64 version. I tried to find a way to hack my DS so I could stream from it, but I could not get that to work. And the whole Switch thing, I didn't really want to pay another $40 for a subscription when I already have online. That just seemed like a waste to me. Excuse me. Frijo-san's group finished checking in and had boarded the plane. Cargo should load soon. After I supervise that, I'll check in, and just as I think that, an urgent voice jumps onto the band.
The aircraft squawk code has changed to 7500.
7,500.
I have trouble mentally shifting gears after the long period of inactivity. I never imagined I would hear that number with my own ears.
7,500? A hijacking?
Is the plane I'm investigating being hijacked? That can't be a coincidence. Excuse me. But could this have been set up by the police or the Kirijo group? No, there's no benefit for either of them to get involved with the general public. If that's the case...
Is it the cargo they want?
You forgot to say there's a YouTuber who played the 3DS version of Ocarina of Time. Don't know how, but you assume recording and posting is different than streaming. Well, I can record it through OBS as well as stream, but apparently you need to jailbreak, hack your 3DS to be able to stream off of it, and I do not know how to do that. I could probably find somebody to hack it for me. Like, I did used to know a computer guy, but he and I, we don't talk all that often. And my other guy, who knows some of this stuff, doesn't know how to do the DS. Because I asked him about that prior to buying the 3DS version. If they're after the cargo, why hijack the plane? If they're not trying to steal the cargo, could they be after Kirijo-san? No, that doesn't feel right. Hijacking isn't an efficient method to carry out a kidnapping or an assassination. If they have the time and the resolve to pull this off, they would be far better off trying to take over the plane in mid-flight. In any case, you're pretty sure I'm going to love it? I hope so. I can't figure out their objective. Why would they do something that attracts so much attention? Attention. This is a very particular time to attempt to take over the plane. Or peculiar time. Very peculiar indeed. Hijacking before departure forfeits the biggest benefits of hijacking. But at the same time, all normal airport operatives, or operations, will come to a halt while everyone turns their focus on the plane in question. Can't read and I'm congested. I probably should not have eaten before streaming. That hot food mixing with the cold weather, that's probably what's making me act up right now. The airport will naturally stop loading baggage on the plane while this hijacking goes on. It's perfect distraction, so they are after the cargo.
If that was the case, the hijacking is only a decoy. But would they really risk their lives hijacking a plane over one piece of cargo?
As I think, I scan the area from my viewpoint up in the boarding area. Forget what you said before. Fuck! Can't fucking read. Hang on a sec. Forget what you said before about it being like Skyrim. You were thinking about the combat? Okay. I see a van that had been parked near the cargo area suddenly peel out. A suspicious departure at this time. I have a bad feeling about this, but the cargo was just unloaded right in front of my eyes. I didn't see anyone steal it. Hold on. The 4 men in suits with the handcart. I don't see them. I'd lost track of them in the rush of the activity after the hijack call. I grind my teeth and interrupt the radio call.
002, over. A suspicious vehicle is leaving the scene. Stay in pursuit. It's a large vehicle, about 2 tons. License plate...
I hear someone confirm with Roger, but there's shouting and confusion going on in the background. I'm unsure if my intentions have been understood. I run across the airport by myself. I need to grab hold of these people's tail, even if only to get a few hairs. Of course, there's no way that I could catch a vehicle on foot, but I have a plan. I run down the escalator and bolt for the passenger pickup area at the arrivals lobby. I look around outside, and there it is, just as I thought. The suspicious vehicle was coming this way. The airport's road layout is a loop. After leaving the departure lobby, cars must take a turn and curve back around the arrival lobby before being able to reach the surface streets. I hide in the crowd and wait for the van to get close. And as it passes by, I throw a small sticky lump at the van. Luckily for me, it strikes and sticks low on the van's side. There's a compact transmitter in there. You'd have to be pretty close to pick up the signal, but it's better than nothing. I take my hat off and wipe my forehead. The pedestrians around me begin to stir. Can't catch the vehicle on foot, but I have a plan. Her plan, shoot the fucking tires. That would be my plan. Blow out the tires, fire through the windshield, blow the guy's brain out. That'd stop it. Everyone stops and stares at their smartphones. I didn't need to look. I knew. First news of the hijacking is hitting the media. I put my hat back on and pull the brim low. I'll have to be careful not to let all the information flying about confuse me. I keep my guard up as I quickly walk back to the departure lobby. Another 45 minutes pass without any more clear information coming through. There's chaos on the radio, and people are in panic. But after an hour, the confusion suddenly stops, and a shocking report comes in over the radio.
All personnel on scene. The suspects have been apprehended. The hijacking is over. I repeat.
They dealt with it so soon?
Though some passengers were ill, there were no casualties. As far as I know, the hijackers didn't even make any demands. It's hard to think that the police could have negotiated with them. But on the other hand, there's no indication that the special assault team had stormed the plane. Did the group surrender, now that their decoy objective was complete?
What's going on here?
Just then, a radio call came in directly for me.
002, over. The hijacking has been dealt with, but the transfer must be cancelled. The whereabouts of one piece of cargo cannot be confirmed. All indications are that it has been stolen.
Then that vehicle earlier. Are you still in pursuit?
We're tracking it through the N system. Head to the guest room immediately so we can discuss our response.
It looks like my call to report that suspicious van had not been a mistake.
Understood.
Soon after, the involved parties were gathered in the VIP room. Kirijo's-san and the police are talking hurriedly. But because there's a lot of confidential information being discussed, it was only expected that there would be some difficulties in communicating. At any rate, the van on the run can be tracked through the N system. The hijackers were handed over to the airport police, while those of us who knew the truth about the cargo were moved to one of her buildings.
That was a very tidy operation. I had thought it would take at least half a day.
To put it delicately, we had someone with special abilities handling this. Then again, though we prevented any harm from coming to the hostages, we lost the cargo.
Nothing for it, I suppose. Who would have expected an entire hijacking to cover up the theft of some cargo? I must apologize to you as well. I was the closest at hand when it happened.
No, you did more than enough. It's thanks to your sharp eyes that we're able to track the suspicious vehicle now. I'm impressed that you realized in all the chaos that the cargo was the true target. You even spotted their getaway truck.
Thank you. Our next step should be to interrogate the suspects in custody and...
Sadly, it won't be that simple. I haven't heard much yet, but it seems they're having unexpected difficulties with the interrogation. It will take some time.
If they were prepared to risk their lives for this operation, I suppose they won't break so easily.
We made an error in judgment. We were too focused on preventing the item itself from doing any damage.
But since they targeted something so unusual, that should narrow down the suspect pool.
You know the main protagonist of this game is Labrys, but every character's story is about her. Geez, leave Labrys alone already, game. No, more Labrys is a good thing. Best waifu robot. Also, did you go back and watch the Labrys story? Like, what happened between, what was her name, 024, and all the other stuff that was going on? Like, after reading that story, I genuinely wanted to kill the people who were torturing her. Like, it's fucked up. Glad to know that they died. Like, during that whole, shadow thing that was going on. That shadow research with her grandfather.
I can't deny it's possible that someone
Excuse
connected
me.
to the Kirijo group is behind this. Thank you for your assistance, Shirogane. I'm sorry to have involved you in this mess, but the professionals will take it from here.
Professionals. In other words, she plans to investigate this herself as a shadow
Does
operative.
that mean my work here is done?
I'm afraid so. We do value your cooperation.
This is a bit of a pickle. Kirijo Group and the police want to keep this under wraps. That is, they cannot open a public investigation. On top of that, the Shadow Operatives are technically an organization working for the police. Technically, there is no room for freelancers here. Therefore, by my reasoning, there is no need for me to be involved in the investigation any further. Refusing back down, however, would only draw attention. With no other choice, I decided to take my leave. It must have been chaos at the office, despite the unusual events. The man who hired me has not yet gotten in touch with me. I entertained the thought of returning home to Inaba, but luckily enough, I've brought enough luggage for a short trip out of town. I decided to stay the night at a business hotel near the airport, and wait a while for my client to contact me. Time passes. At 9 o'clock, I finally receive a phone call from the man.
Things have taken an unexpected turn. This case is under the jurisdiction of the Shadow Operatives now.
That will make it very difficult to continue my secret investigation.
But right now, you're the only one we have who's gotten that close. We heard you earned Kirijo's trust after the hijacking. We'd like you to keep up your investigation. We're currently making arrangements for you to pick it up again in a natural way.
What are you gonna have me do? I will not act as a spy.
I'll be in touch later.
He hangs up without waiting for me to reply. I sigh. I feel a weight in my heart. This has a high possibility of turning into a private investigation from the shadows. Pretty much a polite way of saying corporate espionage. What you do want to know is 024 still alive? Where you left off, it seemed like she wanted to leave without Labrys rather than with her. No, she is dead. They forced Labrys to kill her. After she ended up disabling her so she couldn't fight any longer, Labrys ended up begging with the researchers to just let her leave, and they took remote control of 024 and forced her to kill her. If I'm to take on this job, I need to have some sort of plan. Fuck. Yeah, for real. Like, I am very, very glad that those people are dead now. At any rate, I cannot plan my movements without knowing how the situation is progressing. It would be far better to prepare for tomorrow instead of getting worked up with worry. I read the newspaper and watch some of the TV coverage of today's events, then go to bed early. A day passes, and even by the night of May 2nd, the man is not, or has not, contacted me again. It seems police are having trouble zeroing in on the suspicious vehicle. Considering the skill with which the crime was pulled off, I wouldn't be surprised if the van was dumped somewhere and the cargo loaded onto another vehicle. Going through all the possibilities is just a way to kill time. She wanted freedom, what the fuck, those people need a special place in hell. Even then, you're pretty sure Satan doesn't even want them? I'm pretty sure they're getting butt-fucked in hell right now, considering what they did. But that was the only thing I had to do. Nothing happened until the sky began to darken as the sun went down. My phone finally rang. But surprisingly, the name of the screen brought a smile to my face.
Yes, Shirogane speaking.
Hi, Naoto-kun.
Oh, Chie.
I'm not trying
Best
to
girl.
interrupt, am I?
No, it's quite alright.
Sorry to call so late. I wanted to at least give it one more shot about tomorrow.
That's right, so much has been happening that I completely forgot that the school holidays start tomorrow. And of course, we're supposed to have our reunion with you, Senpai, when he visits from the city tomorrow. I was supposed to be able to meet up with them. I didn't imagine that I'd be stuck here for 3 days thanks to the attempted hijacking at the airport. But since I've undertaken the job, I have obligations that I can't just abandon. I'm starting to actually feel somewhat, or some anger towards whoever the culprits are.
I'm sorry, but it seems I still won't be able to make it.
Oh, it just dawned on me.
To be honest.
Teddy was the other storyline that had Naoto in it. Now I remember. I was talking about that earlier, about how all these stories seem to merge, and I'm wondering which one this will merge with. So it's either going to be Teddy, Mitsuru, or, Aigis, I think.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that. Oh, then I guess you can't check even if it rains.
Even if it rains?
Oh, nothing. Just talking to myself. It's
What was
okay,
that?
Naoto-kun. I know there are people who'll be in trouble without you. You need to stay there and help them out.
Yes, well...
Help them out, huh? It irritates me to look at, or to know what I'm going to do is pretty much spy work.
It really is a shame. Give my regards to Senpai and the others, won't you?
Will do. Good luck with the job.
I hang up the phone. Seeing my dear Senpai again, I feel that there's much more, or I feel that's much more important than a job with an uncertain outcome. And I feel a little sad that I'm going to miss it. Aw, she misses you. She misses her husbando. Maybe I should just turn the case down and make a surprise visit tomorrow.
I wonder if any train would make it in time.
Oh, she wants to see him bad. But it looks like the case is not about to let me leave. Just after my talk with Chie-san, I was preparing for bed. The public safety official called me again.
It seems we may be back on for the secret investigation. Mitsuru Kirijo just requested our cooperation.
Naoto waifu? She's definitely one of them, yes.
We agreed. A detective by the name of Kurosawa will be heading out tomorrow. We want you to accompany him to the rendezvous point.
When I ask about this Kurosawa fellow, I receive a unanticipated answer. Apparently, he had helped Kirijo-san's activities on his own while he was a constable. Even though his superiors didn't understand what Kirijo-san was up to, he followed his own instincts and helped her to protect the town. Normally, he would be punished for this, but the situation took a 180-degree turn thanks to the establishment of the Shadow Operatives. His knowledge has been invaluable, and rather than being disciplined, he has been promoted to plainclothes detective.
Kurosawa is willing to leak you whatever info he learns about the Kirijo group through his cooperation with them.
I'm surprised he agreed to that. Hasn't he assisted Kirijo-san and her group in the past?
I'm afraid that's something you'll have to ask him about, although he seems to have his own agenda.
I confirmed several other details before ending the call. Detective Kurosawa. If he is working with the Kirijo group, it could be something of a problem. But if they have information to leak, that means they must have located the vehicle in question. Still, considering how long it took them to find it, I may be in for a long trip. Where am I going to be sent now? I shrugged myself. The next day, May 3rd, I meet with Detective Kurosawa. I expected someone who looked shadier, but the man appeared hardworking and honest.
I'm Naoto Shiragane. Thank you for your assistance.
I've heard rumors about you, Ace Detective. Let's get going.
We make our greeting brief, and I get into Detective Kurosawa's car. I love that look on Naoto's face right now. A private investigation in a location that I have no prior knowledge or experience of. I think that finger of hers is a little crooked, though. Isn't it supposed to be more of a V shape? This was a depressing job in the first place, and the addition of more and more unknown variables is only making me more displeased with it.
You seem pretty listless.
Oh no, I'm fine. Where are we headed, by the way?
The place where they found the getaway car from the hijacking.
This seems sketchy, a high schooler getting into a car with a man she doesn't know.
A town called Inaba. It's a small place with an odd history. They just had a bizarre serial murder case there last year.
It's only sketchy if she gets offered any candy.
Inaba?
I can't stop the surprise from showing in my voice.
That's your hometown, right? Isn't that why they're sending you?
I'm at a loss for words, but Detective Kurosawa continues instead of waiting for me to reply.
The request I got from the Shadow Operatives was to assist in gathering information about those murders. They want me to meet with a supervising detective of that case and ask him for the full story. Not only are they part of public safety, they're an unofficial unit. They can't come to the district police for information.
024, she wanted freedom, and she wanted to be a regular person. The thing that's fucked up is that she wanted to meet her creator, and, apparently all of the, shadow weapons were created through the, DNA of a dying girl or something. And all the girl wanted was for her creations to be happy with their lives, and they were forced to kill each other. Like, that's an incredible disservice to the dying girl as well. Like, those people are fucking monsters.
Why him? Is his case related to the robbery in some way?
Public safety is sharper than you might think. They do basic reviews on all cases to see if shadows were involved. Inaba is on their watch list now. And with that cargo being brought there, they naturally suspect a connection between the cases. If
there's a connection, then it might be related to our case. I begin to have ominous thoughts, and my expression darkens. But Detective Kurosawa doesn't probe into that topic. Perhaps he's the type of person who doesn't judge people based on evidence, but gets a feel for them through conversion and actions. Or conversation and actions. How am I reflected in his eyes? I can't help but wonder. Detective Kurosawa goes inside the Inaba police station while I wait in the car near the junkyard. The familiar sights of Inaba seem strange somehow. The detective in charge of the case must be none other than Dojima-san. Detective Ryotaro Dojima. Of course I'm familiar with him. And not just as a fellow police officer. Or peace officer. Dojima-san acted as Yu Senpai's guardian while he stayed in Inaba. I feel like I'm betraying him as well, and can't stop myself from sighing again. Soon enough, Detective Kurosawa steps out of the station. I thought he was coming back. But halfway to the car, he turns and walks into the junkyard. I wonder what he's doing. I stick my head out the window and try to track him. There is another car parked behind a pile of junk. That distinctive grill style. That's Kirijo-san's limousine. I hurriedly pull my head back into the car. That's right, Detective Kurosawa came here to cooperate with Kirijo-san. Excuse me. But still, to bring me along and park so close to her is... Then again, it's very unnatural to park far away from a rendezvous point. Detective Kurosawa made the right decision. I calm down and slide into the rear seat, keeping my head low. Still, Kirijo-san uses that black limousine while undertaking her shadow operative duties as well. That car sticks out like a sore thumb here in Inaba. Heck, it's distinctive anywhere in Japan. Why would someone as clever as Kirijo-san take that car on a special mission like this? Does she have some profound reasoning behind it? After a while, Detective Kurosawa finally comes back to the car.
Kurosawa-san, may I ask you something? Why are you working with public safety?
You're asking that now? I thought that would be your very first question.
After wiping his dry smile from his face, Detective Kurosawa turns to me with an incredibly serious expression.
You can spy on Mitsuru Kirijo and her shadow operatives to your heart's content and never find anything suspicious. But for that to be understood, at some point or another, everything she does has to be investigated to eliminate those doubts. In which case, it's better someone like you do the investigating than someone official who will never understand. That's all there is to it.
So he does have his reasons after all.
Thank you for your cooperation.
I'll leave the rest in your hands.
I exit the vehicle, and Kurosawa-san takes his car onto the highway and speeds out of sight. He has no doubts whatsoever regarding Kirijo-san's activities. To be honest, I'm inclined to agree with him. But I can't jump to conclusions without any evidence. I use heaps of junk as cover to sneak close to the limousine and watch. Not long after, I see two people exit the vehicle. One of them is Kirijo-san. However, unlike when I saw her at the airport, she's wearing equipment likely suited for combat. The other person looks strange.
Is that the fabled humanoid weapon?
There was information about a humanoid weapon mixed in with all the data I had about Kirijo's group. When I first saw it, I was confused. But that had to be what was standing in front of me. It seems natural, almost lifelike, but there's no denying that it's a artificial construct. It seems that the rumors of an unorthodox anti-shadow unit were true. Another man comes to join them soon. He too was dressed in outlandish attire. He was shirtless and wore a red cloak like a desert nomad. He's the perfect example of someone who ought to be detained for questioning. I compare his face to the list of pictures of the people involved with the situation. While his taste in clothing has changed, I believe this man is Akihiko Sanada. I can't imagine what would possess him to go about dressed like that, but I speculate about their actions. What business do they have here in a junkyard? There is nothing here but a pile of broken household electronics and abandoned televisions. Then it hits me. Detective Kurosawa had told Kirijo-san about last year's incident. And, of course, she has prior knowledge of persona and shadows. Then, no doubt, she's heard of the idea of entering the TV world. After all, it appears many times in the testimony of the killer from last year. Dojima-san may have disregarded it for being too far-fetched, but Detective Kurosawa must have caught on. I take a closer look. There's a mountain of old television sets. Victims of last year's switch to digital broadcasts.
They're not planning to enter a TV from here, are they?
Even as I say that, the mechanical girl already has her hand sticking into a TV screen. It's exactly as I thought. The mere fact that they are testing what they heard so recently cannot bode well. Uncertainty crosses my mind. The three of them are clearly preparing to enter the television. Should I blow my cover and warn them about what they're doing? If they enter, they may not be able to leave. But the other world should no longer be dangerous anymore. And I heard from Yosuke-senpai that he'd asked Teddy to leave and exit the TV just in case. Or leave the exit TV out just in case. If they're Persona users, they should be able to handle the shadows. They shouldn't be in any peril, but... However, Kirijo-san made a decision faster than I could. Okay, we've seen this already. We can skip that. I stand there blankly.
Stolen cargo inside the TV?
Should I chase after them? If I turn back here, we may never be able to find the three of them again. And if that happens, the truth about the case will be lost forever. If her property was placed into the TV world, it means that whoever stole it knows the truth about last year's events. If that's the case, then I can't ignore this, no matter what my assigned task is.
Well, if they're determined to enter the TV despite not knowing the risks, I can hardly allow cowardice to prevent me from following.
Naoto alone is making you want to continue Persona 4 Golden. Oh, you still have that on the back burner? I realize that the straw breaking camel's back is not logic, but my pride, and I smile to myself. But my mind was made up. I stand up, look around, and step inside the same television that they used. Looks like I got a voicemail here. That's probably about the root canal. I'll have to check that out after stream. It's been a while since I felt this falling sensation. But this time the sensation seems to continue longer than it did when I would enter the TV as part of the investigation team. Before I know it, the falling has ended. I take cover behind a pillar and look around for the three shadow operatives. Did I lose them? We all entered from the same television, so we should have arrived in the same place. I relax a little and take a look around. When I stand up, I noticed it, but it's difficult to believe. I take a good hard look. This is our school. And not only that, but... Say that not because you don't like it, you've grown to like it, but it just seems like it's long, you don't know, it takes a while to try to rank up social links. That's fair. Most of the time you get the, it seems they're not ready to rank up just yet. Spend time with them anyway, because that'll, help you out regardless. If you ignore them completely, you have a risk of not completing the social link. The familiar school building is inside, but there is something unfamiliar out in front. There's a stack of strange monitors. They're all displaying the words P1 Grand Prix. This place looks like the real world, but there's something warped about it. Feels like the whole world is dangerous again, like it was when we were investigating the incident. But this world has returned to the way that it was before. While I'm thinking this, students come walking out of the building. They gather together and soon the area is filled with people.
Impossible. How could there be this many people in the TV world?
Suddenly, the students surrounding me start cheering. I see an all too familiar burst of static play across the monitors. And we've seen this before already as well.
What?
Killjoy Detective? The shock leaves me dumbfounded for a while. Plus, you senpai, sister complex kingpin. Well, it's true that... No, calm down, Naoto. Calm down and analyze the situation. This otherworldly program, where real people's foibles are exaggerated to unworldly proportions. Static before the video made it very clear. This broadcast could only be the Midnight Channel. And what was this fighting tournament about? The members of the investigation team are the combatants.
It seemed that Teddy was acting as the host for this.
All of us know that Senpai is coming back to Inaba during Golden Week. Then could this be some kind of way to welcome him back? No. Calling him a sister complex kingpin, that's not a welcome, that's a challenge. Who would publicize a negative nickname like that? Besides, whatever the reason, I can't imagine that someone would seriously want us all to fight each other. Just want to tear her out of the uniform and calm down. Excuse me. Does it mean that the rest of them are in the TV world as well? Without warning, the sound of a microphone feedback pierces my ears.
Boys and girls of Yasogami, sorry for the wait.
That voice. That's Rise-san.
The students go wild. On the monitors, Teddy appears to be wearing some sort of costume.
I'm proud to announce the commencement of our very own P1 Grand Prix!
It looks like Rise-san and Teddy are the ones running this. Do they really plan on holding this P1 Grand Prix?
And now the moment you've all been waiting for, the challenger in our first battle.
If the promotional video is correct, then are the members of the investigation team going to show up? Just as I lean forward to see what's going on, a spotlight shines directly into my face, blinding me.
Naoto Shirogane!
What?
The students around me raise their fists to the air and shout. This is a pickle. It seems that I won't be able to chase Kirijo-san down at this rate. First the plane hijacking, and now another unforeseen interruption.
Come on down now, Chan!
Teddy? What is the meaning of this?
Didn't you watch the intro video? It's a fighting tournament!
I gathered as much, but I was asking why you would do such a thing. Pitting friend against friend in battle is going too far for a joke.
It's not a joke, though. I'm giving this 100%, just like I always do. Now get out there now, Chan. Show me everything you've got.
You're not making any sense. Besides, there's...
While I'm speaking, I see the area in front of me twist. I close my eyes at once. When I open them, I see that only certain things around me have been warped by whatever that was. The scene on the monitors, the students around me. I blink and rub my eyes, but I soon realize that my eyes aren't playing tricks on me.
Are these students an illusion someone is creating?
With their skins missing, the students have become dark shapes that only resemble human form. Are these shadows of some sort? Well, I do find it hard to believe that so many people could have wandered into the TV world. Even if this many people did get in here, the town would be in a uproar over mass disappearances of so many students. It makes more sense for them to be shadows, but if that's the case, why did I see them as students? Could it be? Teddy and Rise do both have the power to interfere with other people's thoughts to a certain extent, it may be possible for them to be projecting illusions into my mind. But that would prove that the two of them really are the hosts of the show. I decided not to jump to any conclusions for now. Even if the two of them are behind this, why would they hold a tournament and deceive me with illusions? I won't be able to figure out anything until I determine what their objective is. As I'm considering my next course of action, Teddy, or should I say General Teddy, speaks directly to me.
What are you all thinking for now, Doc? To powder your nose?
No! Anyway, if this is not a joke, can I assume you won't easily let me go?
Bingo! You have to win the fight if you want to move on. Only the one who makes it to the very end is set free.
This is getting me nowhere. Talking to him isn't helping me figure out what's going on here.
Let's get this started. Bring out the first opponent.
Who we got? Another spotlight appears across from me. A person steps out of the darkness. It's
It's been a while, Naoto.
Oh! You.
Senpai? Why are you here?
I promised I'd come back during Golden Week. Don't tell me you forgot.
No. Of course I remembered. It's just, I didn't expect to see you here.
I could say the same thing. I heard you couldn't make it because of your job.
Yes. Actually, I'm here on matters related to my work. It came as a surprise to me as well.
Looks like you're as uninterested in socializing as always.
Huh? What did he just say?
Everyone says that though they think of you as a friend, they never get the same vibe from you.
That's not true. I just happen to be busy with a case. But really, now's not...
Work, work, work. I guess work's all you care about in the end. Even now. I'd say you're more concerned with your work than us. I get it. Hanging out with people outside work is a burden for you. It's like an invasion of your privacy.
Senpai?
He's not the type of person to speak so poorly of others, is he? Is this an illusion too?
Relax. I'll help get you knocked out of the tournament so you can get back to the work you love so much.
He summoned his persona.
Are you serious?
Senpai attacked me with his persona. That wasn't an illusion, it was real. If he'd hit me, I would have been seriously hurt. But now I know something. He's clearly not in his right mind right now. The leader of the investigation team I knew would never, under any circumstances, harm his friends.
Reunion this is turning into. If I must fight you, I will.
Okay, here we go. Hopefully I can use her gun properly this time around. When Kuro and I were playing this over on his birthday, I was using Naoto in one of my battles with him, and she just kept shooting at the ground. Yeah, like that. What the fuck? What is that? Hang on, what is the... Let's see. Let's see, counter shot, throw follow-up, aim. These controls make no sense. I still need more practice with Naoto. Well, I was using her gun fine when I was playing the Ultimax version. What the hell is 2 and 3? Yeah, what is this? Well... Okay, maybe we shouldn't screw around with a gun, because I just got killed, now we're gonna have to skip through all that dialogue. Maybe there are more clear directions on Google.
To the Velvet Room. This place exists between dream and reality, mind and matter. Now then, why don't you introduce yourself?
The persona ability is the power to control one's own heart.
Yeah, those controls make no sense.
Investigation begin.
What follows are my...
Now we have to skip through all this crap. Okay, here we go.
What are we...
Okay, there we go. Okay, so it's down and forward, not down and backward. Okay, now I know what I'm doing. My shoulders heave as I gasped for breath. I managed to win, but Senpai was as strong as ever.
Naoto, are you okay?
Senpai stands up and offers me his hand as I sit on the ground. Despite the fact that he was hurt worse than I was, I look in his eyes, or the look in his eyes shows that he is seriously worried about me. He is a completely different person than the person I saw before the battle. Yes, this is the person I know.
Thank goodness.
Huh?
I mean, are you all right too, Senpai? I'm sorry for hurting you, even though the circumstances demanded it.
Oh, everything's fine here. You're back to the usual Naoto, I see.
The usual?
What's that supposed to mean? I wonder about the use of his word usual, but there are more important matters at hand.
Can you tell me what's going on here?
Senpai tells me about what happened at Inaba while I was gone. I'm at a loss for words. The Midnight Channel started to air again. The video that I saw was the promotional video for something called the P1 Grand Prix. Apparently, it had been shown a few times before I saw it. Wait, that video. It was shown all over town? No, now's not the time to let that sort of thing discourage me. According to you, Senpai, not only did the Midnight Channel make a comeback, but several of us Kanji-kun, Teddy, and Rise-san have gone missing. Senpai and the others entered the TV at June S to investigate
I was
this.
shocked to see it looking completely different than before.
Indeed. But it seems, at least in part, to be an illusion.
Really?
In fact, the students gathered to watch our battle were not real.
Oh, yeah. They did seem like shadows, but different somehow. I didn't get the sense that they were hostile, though.
I thought that Rise-san and Teddy might have been illusions too, but both have gone missing. And given their persona abilities...
I cut myself off. Senpai shakes his head in
It's
response.
possible that that really was them. But we should have faith. If our enemy can use illusions, they might be victims as well.
You're right. I can at least have more faith in my friends than that.
I raise my head to look at Senpai, who is watching me. Our eyes meet, and I hurriedly look away.
Speaking of which, why are you here, Naoto?
That's...
There's the question. Well, it's only natural, but I'm here on business, not anything personal. I cannot disclose the details of my investigation. Not only are there rules, but if I spoke up, I would end up getting him involved. I have to avoid that at all costs. As I'm deciding on what to say...
You know, forget I asked. I'm just happy to see you again.
Me too. Oh, I'm sorry.
What's the matter now?
I mean, well, about me being unsociable. Please understand that it's not because my work is more important than my friends.
Huh? I've never thought that about you at all. I don't think any of us have.
Senpai.
Alrighty, time to break up your little chat.
Teddy?
Now John wins! Very impressive beating up the almighty sensei. But now it's time for you to go on. Your next opponent's already waiting!
When his speech is over, the monitor shuts off. Next opponent, huh? I'd rather not continue the charade, but I have to push forward in order to get a hold of the situation.
Well then, we should get going.
Yu Senpai nods reassuringly. I feel a sense of relief welling up inside of me. I can't let my guard down, but knowing that Senpai is with me to help me face whatever lies ahead, I know I have nothing to fear. Or so I think. Yeah, this is gonna turn around on you pretty harshly, Naoto. Senpai is walking next to me when he suddenly stops.
What the? An invisible wall? What is this? And how come you can pass through?
A wall? There's nothing there. I wave my hand through the place where Senpai said he couldn't pass through, but I don't feel anything. But Senpai doesn't look like he's faking it. The monitor turns on again. Teddy's face fills the screen.
Huh? Did I forget to tell you? Only the winner can move on to the next fight. No one's getting out of this school until a champion's been crowned. Only the one who fights to the very end and comes out on top can leave.
So neither opponent can leave the area unless they fight each other. You go on ahead, Naoto. I'll try and find a way to catch up.
Very well. Be careful, Senpai.
I will. See you later.
I'm hesitant to leave Senpai behind, but it can't be helped. I'd like to try and destroy the wall, but there's nothing I can do if I can't touch it. With Senpai smiling at me, I decide to go on ahead. Looks like no matter how many people I fight, I'll have to progress by myself. After some time walking, I run smack into something, even though there's nothing there. I didn't understand what was going on at first, but I soon came to realize something. So this was one of those invisible walls Senpai was talking about. Seems that some of them won't allow anyone to pass, no matter who wins the fights. It's completely transparent. The only way to know that it was there is to feel its glass-like smoothness. I have no choice but to take a detour. But time after time, these walls keep getting in my way. I'm not choosing my path, I'm being herded. I suppose I'm following some plan laid out by whoever set this up. After I opened the door to the gym, I saw space cleared away for that. As I expected, General Teddy appears on the monitor.
You're so slow now, John. Your second opponent's been waiting for you.
Let me guess, Kanji?
I've said it before, but I don't intend to fight my friends.
Alrighty, let's do this. Bring out the next opponent.
Yo, yo, yo! How's it hanging? Now,
What the fuck are you doing, Kanji? Well, he certainly looks like Kanji-kun. But it only looks that way.
the way you talk is so lame.
Huh?
I thought I was ready to face anyone, but this isn't a matter of being in my right mind or not. Is this an illusion? Oh, please let this be. Please let this one be an illusion.
Way too uptight and goody-goody. Makes it sound so distant, you dig?
What the fuck are you doing, Kanji?
Is that so?
See, that's what I'm talking about. You could have just said, oh, you think so?
You think so?
Ah, now you're getting it. Now I feel like I'm on your wavelength.
Thanks. Then again, relatability aside, I feel like you were miles away from me to begin with.
Hey, you're doing it again. What's with the Miss Manners act?
I'm sorry. It's a habit of mine.
Or maybe it's that you don't care about getting close to us, huh? You don't feel like you gotta bother getting to know us and stuff?
The entire game is just bullying Naoto, come on. They're kind of bullying everybody in the different storylines.
Of course I don't think... Hell no, man.
That did not suit you, Naoto. But it was adorable nonetheless.
You never warm up to anyone because you set your standards so goddamn high.
Oh dear, he's shown his true self.
Is it, you know what? Are you putting on a show of not letting anyone near you because you got no confidence in yourself? Is that it?
Kanji-kun.
They may be false accusations, but some of their statements are hitting home. I can't brush off these words, and my heart aches.
I'm so nervous. Your height? Your body? That girly voice? Let me give you a little lesson in manliness. I hope you're ready for the pain.
This is insanity.
I didn't say any...
Leave her alone, she's perfect. Indeed.
Okay.
Oh, okay, no, it wasn't the... Alright. It wasn't that I was pressing the wrong direction, it was the wrong button I was pressing, okay. So the A button does the ricochet shot, and the X button does the, like, conventional shooting.
Kanji-kun, are you alright?
Of course I am. Your attacks are like little bug bites. I just let my guard down, that's all.
I don't know if he's acting tough or trying to be courteous to me, but at least he's back to his usual kanji-kun. Is he, though? That didn't seem very kanji-like. The usual kanji-kun. Usual. Wait, didn't you, Senpai, say that too? Well, at the very least, it seems that the spell is broken once the battle ends. I let out a sigh of relief. Still, for some reason, Kanji-kun has yet to look this way.
Are you really okay? I was told that the others lost contact with you, so how did you come to be here?
How? Well, it was a change of pace?
You came into the TV for a change of pace? Did something happen? I'm willing to listen if you'd like to talk about it.
What am I gonna talk about? I mean, wait, not that I don't talk to you. Like, it's not that I do want to talk or that I don't want to. Anyways, it's just sometimes a man wants to go inside a TV by himself.
I'm not sure I follow.
Off my back, Willie. I didn't come in here because I like it. Actually, no. That is why I came. Because I like this place.
When Kanji-kun turns around, his face is red. but with anger or something
I just
else.
don't understand why you're being so loud about it and blushing so fiercely.
I wasn't blushing. Besides, it was all your fault. You're the one that was, well, being all, you know.
Me? What are you talking about?
You want me to come out and say it? Jeez. I thought you'd gone crazy because of that.
I am curious what he saw exactly. What was she acting like?
Me? Crazy? You were the one who was acting oddly, calling me now doll and whatnot.
Now, doll? Why would I call you that?
Wait a second. Acting strangely.
I saw Kanji-kun as mad, and he saw me as the same. And yet both of us claimed that we hadn't gone crazy. I get it now. That's why you, Senpai, called me the usual Naoto.
Of course. An illusion.
Huh?
I believe we were both under the illusion that the other had lost their mind. That's why neither of us remembers saying what the other heard.
Illusions, huh?
It must be a scheme to make friends fight each other. But if that's the case...
It's not as simple as the person I have to fight being crazy. You, Senpai, and Kanji-kun both said things that dig deeply into my personal problems. If these are illusions, then whoever's creating them has to be someone who knows
the
us.
ability to interfere with other senses, the prior knowledge of us, putting it all together, it must be.
Must be what?
The Teddy acting as the tournament's host, as well as Rise-san. Must be genuine.
You moron, there's no way it's them.
I look up at Kanji-kun in surprise.
Ted and Rise are fakes. Come on. They're not twisted like that. You of all people ought to know.
He doesn't have any proof, but his unshakable trust in me sets me at ease. Even if I told him that Rise and Teddy are both missing, I'm sure his answer wouldn't change.
Who else then?
Well, you know, there is someone here besides us. I saw her on my way here. Some girl with long hair.
A girl. Did she happen to be wearing a white fur shawl and combat gear beneath it?
Her? What are you talking about? She had on a normal Yaso girl's uniform and her hair was like tied back.
A female student with tied back hair? I don't recall anyone like that.
I thought he might have run into Kirijo-san, but that doesn't appear to have been the case. Is that girl Kanji-kun's talking about a suspect? I can't tell for
Keep
sure.
in mind. Well, we should be moving on.
Hold on, I'll come with... Wait, what the hell?
What girl has fur? I think he's talking about the fur coat that Mitsuru had. Ah, the invisible walls again. Just like last time, I can't touch it myself.
The rules seem to dictate that only the victor can proceed. I'll come for you later.
Don't bother. I'll figure this out myself somehow. That aside, you beat me. You better make sure you're the champion in the end.
That's completely irrelevant to the larger objective.
I'll leave Kanji-kun behind and push on ahead. We're being shown illusions that portray our opponents. Excuse me. Opponents as having lost their senses. But why is the host of this tournament going to such elaborate lengths? Obviously, it's to get people who know each other to fight, but is that the only goal? You're pretty sure Kanji's just going to try to punch his way out of the wall somehow? Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him. Still, I wonder how I had appeared to Senpai and Kanji-kun. I'm not that worried about Senpai, but thinking about Kanji-kun's reaction, how he had blushed, is burning a hole in my stomach. As I walk down the hall, I come to another likely location for a match. Just as I figure, Teddy appears on the screen.
Your next opponent is a special guest. Got a lady jumping in on the fun. It'll be a big emotional reunion for you now, Chan.
Okay, is this gonna be best girl or worst girl?
Could it be?
Bring up the next opponent!
Kirijo-san.
Oh, it's her. Okay.
Shirogane, why are you here? I thought you were...
This is a problem. I didn't think we'd run into each other so soon.
Yeah, me neither. The purpose of this event is to have the participants fight, and because there's only one path to take, I figured we would run into each other sooner or later. I never imagined that it would be this early on, though. No, there's something else I need to be concerned with. Like the previous times, the opponents will not be seeing each other correctly. With that in mind, I watch her closely, and as expected, I see a change in her. Mitsuru Kirijo-san's face twists into an expression of contempt, and her composure shatters.
To say I'm surprised to see you here would be an understatement.
I don't reply. There is no point in saying anything, after all.
The silent treatment. How ridiculous that you, who lives a lie, would dig up other people's hidden secrets for a living. You seem gentle, but you maintain an aloof distance that keeps people at arm's length. I've thought that since our first meeting. At first, I thought it must be typical of a detective. But that doesn't seem to be the case. You simply lack confidence in yourself.
I have some trouble staying silent.
You hide your true nature, because you know that once you grow close to someone, you'll no longer be able to protect your pride. That's why you won't let anyone in. You use your job as a pretext to keep your distance and never get too attached. And it's from that position that you're trying to discover what others are hiding? How contradictory. Not to mention completely ridiculous and unfair.
I clench my fists in spite of myself. Kirijo-san's relentless words. Even if it's only an illusion, I begin to feel that if I lose, I'll never be able to hear near her again. I cannot lose here.
I'd dearly like to answer your charges, but I see no need.
There is no reason to defend myself against the accusations of an illusion.
Okay. Well, I don't think I'm gonna live very much yeah, but we're dead. Okay, time to go through all that shit again.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
Let
I
the
wish you good luck.
investigation begin.
What follows are my impressions of the organization called the Shadow Operatives, as well as their leader, Mitsuru Kirijo.
Can't I just reload my markers? I don't think so. What are the bookmarks for? I have no idea. I mean, when I click on her card, if the bookmarks did have any use, then that should just let me pick up right from there, don't you think? Like, should it give me a continue option or something when I click on her? Hey, welcome to stream, Forgotten Dreamer. How you doing? Also, Fortnite did the thing. What do you mean? I know next to nothing about Fortnite. It's time? Time for what? Oh, are you fucking kidding me? They did a meme of a certain lady whose song plays everywhere during this month. I don't know what you're talking about, Forgotten Dreamer. And you found an axe named Labrys in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I think Labrys is the name of an axe, actually.
Let the investigation begin.
Like, when I was looking up pictures of Labrys from Persona, the first result was a axe. What kind of pictures? Pictures of Labrys. Most likely, woo person. Okay, time to go through these fights again. Now, why does this game give me the bookmarks if it doesn't let me just pick up where I left off? Okay, and we're gonna die to him now. Or maybe not. There we go. Apparently I pressed Y in the character selection screen? Huh. Okay. Well, if I end up dying to meet Tsuru again, we'll, do that next time around. There we go.
How unfortunate. Better luck next time.
Of course.
Alright, let's hope for the best this time. What in the fuck? That is so stupid.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
I wish you good luck.
God damn! Do I owe Mitsuru money? She's not giving me a break? Yeah, this sucks. Man, not only am I getting my ass kicked, but I'm getting my ass kicked by worst P3 girl.
Welcome to the Velvet.
I wish you good luck.
Finally.
Okay.
How unfortunate. Better luck next time.
You're stronger than you look. It seems you're a skilled fighter. And a persona user as well, huh?
With that, Kirijo-san stands
I'd like
up.
to clear something up. Before our battle, I may have said or done some things that seemed disrespectful, but
I understand. We were shown illusions to goad us into fighting each other.
so you already knew. You are a credit to the Shirogane name. In that case, well, I'm willing to forget all the things you said about my body.
Wait, what? Her body? What did the illusionary me say?
Though, if you're a persona user, that gives weight to two of my feelings.
And look at that blush on Naoto's face, too. Kirijo-san looks straight at me.
One is that you were one of those who solved last year's serial murders. The few proud anonymous heroes.
I shrug. And then I brace myself for the other shoe to drop. I know what she's about to say.
The other is that you are one of my enemies. You were an observer at the hijacking, which means a persona user was sent specifically. Yet you hid that from me. Somehow I doubt you were there just to watch over the cargo. If my suspicions aren't off base, then there's something I must say.
In all honesty, I feel like I have no defenses for what's going to happen next. I begin trying to find a way to make it through the conversation without ruining whatever goodwill I may still have with her. But Kirijo-san's next words take me completely by surprise.
Shirogane, can I ask for your cooperation once again?
What?
You know more about this world than I do, and since I lost our match, I will be unable to move on from here.
Oh boy, is Naoto into women? Was she raising up Mitsuru? No. She...
Wait a moment. I thought you distrusted me.
Yeah, from the way that she was acting towards you earlier, I'm gonna say that she probably isn't, but that shadow self of her, I can only imagine the things that she said.
Even if I did, is continuing to oppose each other the wisest course of action?
I have no words. Kirijo-san smiles as she watches me. Her proposal completely surprised me. My surprise must have confirmed what she was thinking about me. She knew that I'm not the type of person who would become her enemy under normal circumstances. That is why she smiled. I am no match for her. She's on a completely different level than I am. It's not a matter of social rank, she simply has the type of personality that makes people want to follow her. Kirijo-san doesn't wait for me to answer and continues.
Dear guest, we are here in pursuit of the stolen cargo. Upon investigation, we figured out that it contained the 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris.
Wasn't everyone in the other stories saying that she looks like that for seducing? Yeah, it was probably something along those lines.
She was a machine, developed as one of a series of test models. They were intended to receive personas in order to combat shadows.
Isn't a persona the manifestation of one's strength of heart? How could a machine be capable of using a persona?
You're right to ask that. Labrys has a mind of her own. We don't know what she looks like, but it's probably very close to human.
A humanoid machine. I did see something fitting that description before I came through the TV world. So that was a weapon developed by the Kirijo group. A humanoid robot with, or one with a heart at that. This is the fruits of Kirijo technology created from the research of shadows. I cannot help but be surprised. However, if the culprits were specifically after this Labrys weapon, there is a high probability that it has been removed from its case and is mobile. But I cannot fathom how that would benefit the thieves.
Around the time of the robbery, we began to see activity in this world as well. I doubt this is a coincidence. I feel sure that your Labrys is connected to this ridiculous tournament.
I agree.
For I know what I'm doing, I reach out to shake hands with Kirijo-san.
I accept your earlier proposal, and I think I'd best hurry.
Thank you. And I'm sorry. Your friends must be facing their own troubles. It's possible that they've met Labrys without knowing it, too.
They'll be all right, I'm sure.
The record showed that Labrys had some unknown experimental equipment. We don't know what she's capable of. Don't take her lightly.
Oh, no, that isn't what I meant. She has a heart, yes? Then fighting her isn't our only option. She can be saved. I'm sure the others will reach the same conclusion.
I see.
When I say that, I could see a smile on her face. I could tell she believes in her friends as well.
Yes, I meant to ask. Have you been able to contact your friends?
I shake my head.
2 of them have analysis-capable personas, but both of them have gone missing.
I actually have a few powers in that area myself. Can you tell me what these friends of yours look like?
I give her a detailed description of Rise-san and Teddy as I can.
A bear costume and a girl. Are they...
Yes. They're the ones acting as hosts for this tournament. But they're not usually like this.
I see. Well, anyway, knowing that will make searching for them easier. Let me see.
Kirijo-san focuses and closes her eyes. Her powers must allow her to see images as she searches. It may be only a few powers, but it's still quite amazing.
I'm getting a match some ways from here. It's not moving either. Aha! I found her. Can you hear me?
Who is this?
That voice.
My name is Mitsuru Kirijo. I'm with one of your friends, Shirogane.
Kirijo-san looks at me and nods. She's communicating to me so that Rise-san can hear my voice as well.
Rise-san!
Naoto-kun, is it really you?
Yes, though I could ask the same of you, Rise-san.
I'm so glad. This weird fake Teddy kidnapped me and then everyone was fighting each other and...
So Rise-san's voice on the PA system was a fake. That being the case, there is no reason to believe that the image of Teddy on the monitors is the real thing either.
It's all right. Please calm down. Do you know where you are right now?
It looks like an announcement room, but there are these invisible walls stopping me from leaving. Plus, the fake Teddy is watching me, so I can't use my persona.
I don't know who the fake Teddy is, but it seems that Rise-san and the real Teddy were kidnapped to deprive us of a means to communicate, or a means of communication. In other words, to keep us fooled while we were in this world. Then again, that explains nothing about whatever object could be gained by doing this to us. So, how does Labrys' existence tie into this?
Thanks. Kirijo-san, right? Wait, Kirijo? I know that name. That's not important now. Are you a persona user too?
Yes, but we can discuss that later. I sense a shadow-like presence very close to your position. Are you all right?
The only thing near here is the fake Teddy. Wait, is that what you're talking about?
So it's a shadow.
I was hesitant to make a decision. Kirijo-san does not know Teddy. Of course, she wouldn't know his origins. Even if the general was the real Teddy, she would probably think of him as a shadow if she didn't know any better. But if the general is merely something else that is taking his appearance, it leads to a completely different conclusion. That is, it's a shadow from a normal human who doesn't have any tolerance for this world. But if that's the case, then why is the shadow mimicking Teddy? I don't have enough pieces to begin solving the puzzle yet. While I'm in the process of thinking things through, Kirijo-san speaks up.
Shirogane, you need to hurry on. I'll try to maintain communication as best I can and keep you in the loop.
All right then, I'm off. Stay safe.
I nod back to her and start running. Onward. To the announcement room where a Rise is being held. As I hurry on, led by the invisible walls, I reach classroom. I'll be forced into another fight here too, no doubt.
Looks like you're chugging right along. And now another special guest for you.
Who we got this time, Chie or Yosuke?
Perhaps may be odd putting you up against this one, so I want to see your best moves out there, Nachan. Now, bring out the next opponent.
Chie, right? Oh, no, it's Akihiko. I was wrong on both accounts. I see a silhouette framed in the spotlight. It's... well, how could I forget that attire?
Akihiko Sanada, as I recall.
Interesting. I've been gone for a while, and here I meet a stranger who knows who I am.
You're a member of Mitsuru Kirijo's organization. Her friend, actually, no?
Oh, I see. So it's really Mitsuru you're interested in. Ace Detective.
His words caused me to tense up. He just called me Ace Detective. Perhaps that was just a guess from my family name, Shirogane. But he could know that I'm spying on them for the police. I carefully search his eyes for anything that might tell me how much he knows. He looks me over from head to toe, and immediately sneers mockingly.
Jeez, look at you. You have the physique of a 12-year-old.
Hey!
What?
A detective needs a strong body more than a strong brain. All-night research sessions, long stakeouts. You need stamina for that.
Yeah, we have caffeine for that, asshole.
But look at those twiggy arms and legs of yours. You've got an overdeveloped chest, but from the looks of it, I'd say it's all fat and no muscle. Seriously.
What?
What is wrong with him? That's the part of my self-image I'm most sensitive
I'll
about.
teach you the secret to bodybuilding. First thing, protein. Second thing, protein. Third, fourth, and fifth, more protein.
Don't you think that's rather unbalanced?
Sanada-san flexes his muscles like a bodybuilder.
Finally, you gotta spar. 1, 2.
He says sparring, but that punch was meant to do serious damage. This is absurd. No matter what he says, his fists are definitely real. Shoot, I can't dodge them all.
Mitsuru?
Sanada-san stops suddenly as a familiar voice echoes through the room.
You're under the effects of an illusion. Shirogane has done nothing. Do not attack.
What do you mean? He's the one who attacked me all of a sudden.
I attacked.
Suddenly, I remember. That's right, this is all an illusion. I never met Sanada-san before, so I didn't know what his usual self is supposed to be. On top of that, I allowed the first thing he said to me get under my skin. Aw, that's kind of adorable. She's sensitive about her chest. Yeah, that's probably why she, binds it to make it look, less voluptuous. How stupid of me. I let myself get swept up in the situation and failed to realize what was really happening.
From my perspective, it was you who dealt the first blow. We were both being shown an illusion to make us fight each other.
Shirogane is an excellent detective and a persona user. I told him everything. He's agreed to cooperate with us. He was originally on the scene as a police observer in this case, so we've already met.
Kirijo-san and I explained to Sanada-san what has been happening up until now. Fat or muscle, Booba is Booba. Indeed, Booba is Booba. It's a relief to learn that, despite his appearance, he's actually quite a reasonable man, and quick to pick up on things.
The noise-like phenomenon that fogs your senses is already gone. You should be able to communicate normally now.
We reintroduce ourselves and shake hands.
Looks like I fell for a cheap trick.
I'm sorry for forgetting myself, too. I can't even claim to have been unaware of the deception.
So you're a persona user, huh? Well, since fate already brought us together, want to test your skills before you move on?
Sanada-san slams his fists together.
Akihiko, you're doing it again. Just cooperate with him.
All right. Come on, Naoto. Let's go.
Oh, wait, the tournament rules say...
As Sanada-san walks away, as I figured, he hit a wall.
All right? What's the matter? What happened?
I don't know. There's some kind of invisible wall here.
The rules dictate that only the winner of each match can advance. So,
He was flustered mere seconds ago, but now Sanada-san has taken on a more lively expression.
So we need to have a match, even though we've got nothing against each other. We're fighting after all then, huh? All right then, come at me.
Please go easy on me.
I could almost hear Kirijo sigh in exasperation.
Okay.
Alright, so this shouldn't take me very much longer.
That was a great bout. You're good.
A bout? What an annoying rule.
Wait a second. That reminds me. I saw that guy calling himself General walking with a girl. If only one person can move on, that's against the rules.
If Fake Teddy and Risei-san were together all this time, then could the girl he's talking about be Risei-san? No.
Do you remember the details of what this girl looked like?
Sanada-san tells me about the girl he'd seen. What he said matches the description of the unknown girl Kanji-kun had talked about, which means that there's a high possibility that the person seen walking with her was not the general, but the real Teddy. At the very least, this is evidence against the argument that Teddy's the general. This creates another theory, though. If the general is not really Teddy, then he's someone's shadow. And there's only one person that fits the bill. Well, not person, per se, but...
If that girl was Labrys, then... well, is it possible we're dealing with her shadow?
That's right, Labrys. If she has a heart capable of using a persona, then it stands to reason that she could create a shadow. In light of how the events of last year played out, it makes perfect sense. She was kidnapped by someone who threw her into the TV world, creating a reflection in her heart.
None of the data I have shows any connection between Labrys and Yasagami High. On top of which, I don't see how she'd know about you or your friends.
I'd been having doubts about that as well, but at least I have a feel for what's going on. What Labrys kidnappers hope to gain from this remains unknown. However, at any rate, it would be good if the shadow were to run into its owner. Either way, it's best if I head to the announcement room. It's much more logical to restrain the false Teddy, since I know his location, than it would be to have to search Labrys somewhere in the world. Since if that really is Teddy with Labrys, why are they traveling together?
Jeez, what's that Teddy doing? I'm sorry I can't help much, Kirijo-san.
You'll have to forgive me for my meager skills as well. My persona's communication powers are more for operational assistance.
Oh, hey, welcome to Stream Black Healer. How you doing?
A friend of mine from school was much stronger than myself in that respect, but...
Oh no, it's all that stupid bear's fault anyway. He's a real genius for making people worry.
Man, it's strange running into so many Persona users I've never heard of all at once. I gotta say, brings back memories.
For us, too. We were as surprised as you. Not to say that the possibility of other Persona users hadn't crossed our minds, but to actually meet them.
What you said about a friend from school kinda reminds me of us, too. What was school like for you? I'd like to hear about it.
Well, ignoring Akihiko's current appearance, he was a boxing champion in his student days.
Hey, that dig was uncalled for.
After that, I don't know what went through his brain, but he started saying he wanted to search for stronger opponents.
He went on a journey to hone his skills? I thought that only happened in comics and old samurai films.
Thought I had to do it, so I did it. That's all.
This peaceful moment was shattered by Kirijo-san's voice.
What's this I'm sensing? It's like a shadow, but bigger.
Another shadow presence? And it isn't the false Teddy?
Huh? What's going on? That fake Teddy left the announcement room.
Rise-san made a report immediately after that. Sanada-san and I look at each other. It looks like the situation is changing. Sanada-san nods to me, and after taking a small bow, I run off. With no one watching over her anymore, Rise-san was able to summon her persona. The job of providing support moved from Kirijo-san, who not all of us knew, to Rise-san. Rise-san contacted the rest of us and let us all talk to each other for a moment.
Rise-chan? Oh, thank God you're safe! Don't worry, the others are here too. We'll rescue you in no time.
Shut up, worst girl.
Wait, why is Naoto here?
I can't help but smile at this as I tell them about the others I had seen so far. It seems we're all safe for now. And now that we can communicate, we greatly increased our awareness of the situation and our ability to share information. The General must have known that leaving Rise-san alone would result in this. If he did know, but left her anyway, there must have been something major happening. Either that, or he no longer has any reason to hide. I hurry on while we share what we know. The actual design of the place may differ from the real Yasugami High School, but the general layout appears to be the same. Then, if I climb the stairs and turn the corner, the announcement room should be right there. However, Rise-san calls out a warning before I could get there.
The fake Teddy's back!
Too late.
Is that the real Teddy? Hey, the real Teddy's here too! He's got some girl with him. I don't know her.
The fact that Rise's communication didn't get cut off once General Teddy reappeared is somewhat worrisome. But then again, General Teddy doesn't have the time to bother watching Rise-san. After all, if the real Teddy and Labris are both right there as well, he has more important things to be concerned with. Be right back for a bit. By the time you get back, it may be over. I think this is getting pretty close to the end of the storyline. This confirms that General Teddy is a fake. It's only natural, then, to assume that he is Labris' shadow in disguise. However, that makes things dangerous. Labris and her shadow are confronting each other. Rise-san should know the dangers of this situation, but she doesn't know Labris. She may not realize the relationship is between the girl and the shadow. I have to warn her. But before I could speak, it happened. The static gets worse.
Rise-san!
Why can't I communicate with her when so close? And there's something happening in the announcement room. I run as fast as I can towards it. As I reach the door, I hear a loud scream from inside. I slam the door open without a second thought, prepared for a fight. Okay, and that is a cool shot right there. Hang on. How do we, Yeah, hide the window. Yeah, just look at that. I love that. Okay, this bookmark is at 2 hours and 10 minutes. I'm screenshotting this for later. But the attack came from an unexpected assailant. Of anyone in that room, I wouldn't have thought it'd be... Oh, and to be continued. Alright, so, yeah, Naoto's story is now complete, so we have 3 more to go. Alright, so next time we do this, we're probably going to be doing Chie, then Kanji, and then finishing up with you before we go on to the epilogues. So, yeah, that was pretty short stream, pretty frustrating dealing with Mitsuru. Like, I not only hate her as a character, but, well, not hate her, but I don't really like her as a character. I really hate her as an opponent in this game because she was really, really, really annoying to deal with. But as for the rest of the week, later on tonight we're going to be doing some more Daggerfall, so be sure to tune in for that. And tomorrow, maybe I'll keep the Xbox hooked up, maybe we'll see about doing Chie's story tomorrow as well, since I don't think I'm really going anywhere. And then also tomorrow we are going to be doing, what was it called? GoldenEye Rogue Agent. So, yeah. Stay tuned for those, and as for the upcoming week, I will get that schedule out probably on Monday. I don't know how Christmas Eve and Christmas Day are going to be affecting the schedule. I'll probably be streaming on Christmas, like, early in the morning as I usually do on Wednesdays, but we'll see how that pans out. I probably won't do any day streams on Christmas because I'm going to be spending time with my family and whatnot, but yeah. This is where we're going to bring things to a close for right now. Later on tonight, be sure to tune in for Daggerfall. Thank you for tuning in, Forgotten Dreamer, Black Healer, and Uwu Person. Hopefully I will see more of you guys down the line, and with that being said, here endeth the stream. Until then, stay groovy.